I had a couple of different North American arms here I could take a look at, so I figured make a quick video. So we're looking at three different models. This one's their 22 short, this one's a 22 Magnum, and then this one's a 22 Magnum Black Widow. I had a couple of different boxes, so I figured I'd show them off too. This is the older style cardboard box, and this is the newer style plastic box that they offer now. Two little thumb tabs, egg crate, and the foam comes out so you can use it for something else if you wanted to. It has the North American Arms logo there embossed in the plastic. So again, these are three different size 22s. That's your 22 short, there's your 22 long rifle, and then 22 Magnum. And 22 short will work in a 22 long rifle cylinder. This one is the Black Widow cylinder. It's a smooth cylinder, doesn't have the scallops like these other two. To see if it's empty, you sort of pull the hammer back and just roll through the cylinder there, make sure all the chambers are empty. This one's the Magnum chamber. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. This one has a lock, and it comes forward. Cylinder pops right out. And if we look at this one and this one, the one on the right, I don't know if it's going to show up on the video, but the one on the right has an M in between two of the chambers for Magnum, and between the chambers on the cylinder here it says L and R for long rifle. So this one is the long rifle cylinder, and this one's the Magnum cylinder. Just as a quick, safe way to show it, you can see that the Magnums fit right in, but if we tried to put them into the long rifle chamber, they won't even insert. Just won't fit in there. Now, on the other hand, if we put a long rifle into the Magnum, it will insert. I don't know if that sound is coming in. I have a fan going, but that's very loose, and these are tapered, so it fits in there very loose. So you wouldn't want to shoot a 22 long rifle out of a Magnum cylinder. You definitely cannot shoot a Magnum out of a long rifle cylinder, but you can shoot the 22 short out of a long rifle cylinder. I'm going to go ahead and put the Magnum cylinder back in. And the way that works on all of these, if you've watched our shooting video, you've seen it happen. But basically you take the cylinder in your one hand, and there's this small notch here. As you pull back on the hammer, you see that notch disappears. And that allows it to just fall right into place. Once it's basically centered in the frame, you bring your extraction rod or your rod here into place, give it a little bit of a wiggle, and it all just sort of falls back into place. And the retention spring springs back up into that notch under the barrel. Single action, so each time you pull the hammer back with your thumb, this trigger only does one thing, it's single action, it drops the hammer. This one has a different sight picture than the others. See, that sight picture is very typical. Oops, let me pull that hammer back. That sight picture is very similar to typical revolver. Very wide front post and a very exaggerated notch in the back. At least exaggerated compared to this one, which has a much smoother back and a narrower front sight. If we then take a look at this small one, if you watched our shooting videos, almost no sights at all. It's got that sort of narrow, tall front sight, but the rear sight is really nothing. So a little bit more on your own to try to figure out the sight picture on these little guys. They're all single action. Most of the larger size either come with one or the other or both cylinders, like this one. The cylinders are tuned, so I couldn't take this cylinder and put it into this revolver. They need to be matching to the frame. The standard Magnum size, this one is just a Magnum, but they do make this version that comes with both Magnum and long rifle. They make this one in this size barrel and a shorter barrel. Actually, they make a bunch. I'm not trying to be a catalog here, just give you an idea of some of the different sizes though. And then this one has this Black Widow has the Black Widow symbol there, like the symbol we see on the back of the Black Widow spider, but it's got a very oversized grip compared to the regular size, compared to that tiny one. A lot to hold on to. I have a fairly large hand and I can get 3 fingers on it easily. there's a lot to hold on to. It's filling up my fist. And once you've got that thing back, the trigger's a little different than a regular revolver. But once you've got that cocked and ready to shoot, it's definitely comfortable to shoot. For a small revolver, for someone who doesn't want a lot of weight and is looking for something fairly small, although the .22 Magnum isn't the ideal round for self-defense, it wouldn't be a bad round for self-defense, and fairly safe to carry. North American Arms features this there's a little notch between the cylinders where I've got it locked now, and you can see that one cylinder and one cylinder, neither one of them have the hammer on them. There's these little notches in between the cylinders, and that's where the hammer is resting. Since it's a single action, unless that hammer was pulled back, the trigger can be pulled all day and nothing's going to happen. So this is a fairly safe one to carry as well. This one's real easy to carry, but it's basically ineffective for defense, so it's more of a novelty type of thing. This is a better way to show scale on this little guy. A little bigger with these. So the 3-size NAA revolvers, North American Arms, made up in Utah, great company. I've met the people that run the place. I've met the people that work there at the different trade shows, and they're great people, make great guns. If you have any customer service issues, they're happy to help you with it. So highly encourage, if you're interested in these pistols, if you're interested in these revolvers, I'd recommend North American Arms any day.